What's up, YouTube? It's Blunt Force Trauma back again, and we're doing part 2 of these storyline moments, and we're going to be going here with Smokey Joe Williams. I have heard this name before, just in passing, of course, and, you know, dabbling on the baseball reference. But here we go. Let's start off with the first one.
Someone gave me a baseball at an early age, and it was my companion for a long time. I carried it in my pocket. I slept with it under my pillow. I always wanted to pitch. That was the late, great Smokey Joe Williams.
Here I go, coming live again.
A 6'5" flamethrower from Seguin, Texas. When your nickname is Smokey and or Cyclone, it probably means that you threw it pretty hard.
First, let's stop by the candy store, but then shot for a bag of treats.
It seemed that no single catcher could handle the heat that Smokey Joe brought up there. By the 5th inning, their hands were beaten up, and you would have to bring in your secondary catcher to catch Smokey Joe. Think about the rocket fuel of a Roger Clemens, combined with a little dash of Nolan Ryan and the control of Satchel Paige, and Smokey Joe was just that, a phenomenon. Like the late, great Bullet Rogan, Smokey Joe also pitched with a no wind-up delivery. And with that no wind-up delivery, that thing just exploded on the hitters. But Smokey Joe had the full repertoire of pitches to go with that blazing fastball. And so when you can get it up there in a hurry like he did, you've got to sit dead red. And then he could drop a changeup and have guys completely off balance. That was the brilliance of Smokey Joe Williams.
I'ma do all that I gotta do. Go back to my hood. They say that we proud of you.
Okay, so this will be, of course, a pitcher. So this one will probably be a little longer than Ray Dandridge, because pitchers usually take a little longer. But here we go. A little cinematic. The fans are cheering. Looks like we gotta throw basically 2 innings of perfect baseball. Here we go. Okay, change up. It's gonna be a ground ball. That's gonna just easy out there. Easy down the line quick. All right. Jose Mendez, another MLB The Show legend. Fastball. Popped him up. That's going to get out of play. And slider, strike 3. There we go. I don't know who this chunky dude is, but set him down real quick. 2. Sam Hughes. Yeah, some of these guys are just placeholder names. Strike 3. That's that inning. Bullet Rogan, another legend in the game. Strike 1. Strike 2. Down on strike 3. Strike 3. Alright, here we go. Another guy. I don't think this guy's a legend in the game. Pete Smith. Nope, definitely not. Strike 2. Bear down on this pitch. Might as well. Strike 3. Pops it up. Foul ball. Change up, slow it down a bit. Strike 3. He went. Here we go. This one's going to be a little boring because of the pitching. Same repertoire. Teddy Taylor. Interesting name. And then last pitch, slider away.
Nope,
Didn't go,
outside.
but that sets us up again for the high fastball.
Ball, that's
If I
upstairs.
hit it, sets us up for the high fastball. There we go. All right, there we go. That's the first moment. Here we go. All right, there we go. They kind of catch you off guard sometimes with these legend, like the storylines themselves. So I have to be on my toes. Throwing heat. Wait, that's him. What the hell? Yep. Hold on, man. It hurts. Explosive fastball, strike out 1 batter, pitch 1 inning, and win the game. All right, here we go. Okay, so it's only giving us fastball related pitches. So fastball, I got it. Back us up a bit. And catch. Go, toss it over there, buddy. And then we're going to go fastball. We're going to go a fastball. And guess what? We're going to go a fastball. Two-seamer. Bang. Strike.
3.
All right, there's our strikeout. Now we just got to win the game. Hopefully we don't blow it. It's 4 runs here. We don't listen to our catcher here. I don't care if your hand's hurting. We throw what we want, when we want, how we want. Sinker. It's going to be a good little ground ball to the second baseman. And that's going to be the game. There we go. That's the moment done. Okay. Here we go. I believe this one will be a storyline.
How impressive was Smokey Joe Williams? Not just against Negro League competition, but against Major League competition. How about a 20-7 record against white Major League teams? His first showdown was in 1912 when he shut out the world champion New York Giants 6-0. The second matchup was in 1915 when he struck out 10 Philadelphia Phillies while throwing a 3-hit shutout.
Let me state my case. Sprint out the race, no chase, I pace.
Joe's third extraordinary performance came in 1917 when he struck out 20 batters while no-hitting the New York Giants, although he lost the game 1-0 on an error.
Won't be no fire, I'm fresh like water.
Yeah, those are video game numbers, but those numbers are absolutely real. The legendary Ty Cobb, after seeing Williams do his thing, said that he was looking at a sure 30-game winner if he had been allowed to play in the major leagues. That Smokey Joe Williams was one of the best pitchers this game has ever seen.
You a little rough, but I will not fold, impressing me. So watch my vision, see what I see.
Alrighty. Yeah, that's interesting to hear Ty Cobb. Usually he gets the reputation of being a racist, but it's actually not true. Ty Cobb really loves the Negro League players, and especially one of his most infamous quotes was that the only player that he would actually want to watch in nowadays was, and this was in his older age, would be Willie Mays. But that's very interesting for Ty Cobb, the second all-time player, to say that the best pitcher he had ever seen is Smokey Joe. We get the first strikeout here, and I don't know who these guys are. Ty Cobb, I don't know why he's not in this video game. He would have been a very good opponent to be facing right here. What's funny is that catch that. What's funny is that Ty Cobb actually was against barn burning, which is just kind of like what banana ball does nowadays, where they just kind of go around baseball at a professional level. But back in the day, that was just like travel teams, you know what I mean? But at the professional level, they get this straight through. But he was against like Babe Ruth and other players at the time going and doing barn burning instead of taking the majors serious. But
on August 2nd, 1930, on a hot, humid night in Kansas City. Yes, I said night, because, as you know, it would be the Kansas City Monarchs who would pioneer night baseball in 1930, 5 years before the major leagues played under the lights. This featured an epic pitching duel between the legendary Smokey Joe Williams and the great Chet Brewer, and it did not let anyone down. The two combatants struck out 46 guys in that game. The incredible Smokey Joe Williams would strike out 27 Monarchs in 12 innings. Chet Brewer matched them pitch for pitch, but ultimately, Smokey Joe Williams came out victorious, winning that game 1-0 in one of the greatest pitching duels in baseball history.
alrighty. So I assume this is going to be the pitching duel, and that's 27 pit strikeouts is definitely something, all right. I don't think it comes close to the record, but 27 and 12. There we go. Francis Ryan, here we go. Reminds me of the time that I don't know how many innings it was, but Babe Ruth threw a complete game shutout one time. I think it was 12 innings, but he threw 12 innings in a complete game shutout, and that is not going to ever happen ever again, of course, but you never know. No, I do know, actually. No one's ever going to throw 12 innings of work. That's going to get through, sadly. So I think, yep, we have to restart because we have to strike out the side. Okay. Here we go. Fastball, fastball. And we're actually going to do another fastball. Three's fastballs, 101. Jeez, he was upset. Fastball, fastball, and another fastball. 6 straight fastballs have came through. Hey, guess what you're getting? A fastball. Fastball. And 9 fastballs later, we get the win. So threw an immaculate inning on only fastballs. There we go. His face scan doesn't look that bad either, given the photo that we've seen over and over. There we go. Alright, that was episode 4. Okay. So that one, I think this mission was named two-way, so it looks like we are going to be getting some hitting involved here. Yeah, two-way at times. Interesting. Alright, let's see if we can get a hit. So we need two total bases, so let's see if we can get a double here. Not the best hitting stats, as you can see, 73, 45, and 75. Yikes. We are going to get a hit, though. Let's see if we can test his arm. Smokey Joe is very slow, so we're just gonna have to go get a hit, a single now. Ooh, fastball down the middle, we miss it. Whatever. Come on. Let's just get a single here. Anything will do. We're gonna ground into not a double play. There's 2 outs. What I'm talking about. He is slow as can be. What the? He is so slow in this. Smokey in there still. See if we get a hit here. And it looks like that's going to be our double that we could have gotten, but whatever. We'll take a single. We'll take a double. Might as well just have some fun with it. Try to go for a triple here. Nope, we get thrown out, but whatever. Alright, so that finishes off that mission. Never mind. Usually it's a storyline moment, and then the next episode will be storyline. So, here he comes. There's Josh Gibson. I know that guy for sure. Looks like Buck Leonard. And I can't tell who that one is, but... Alright, here we go. That guy is definitely the interesting stance. Look at that front foot. Turkey Stearns, what is your foot doing there, buddy? Holy crap. He's got his foot pointed right at me. That is one of the oddest things I've ever seen on a batting stance, honestly. Foul ball. Jeez. Leave me alone. Slider gets him there. Strike 3. That was, I have never noticed that for Turkey Stearns, because I don't think I've ever used him outside of the storyline moments and such from last year. But whatever. We move on. Strike 3. Here comes the next guy. Just get the next out. Easy peasy. Yeah, the pitcher ones aren't hard. It's just really, they can get a little tedious throwing the same things over and over. Strike 3. be. We're gonna get up there and keep pitching. So we gotta throw another inning of work.
Hi.
Hi. There we go. Fastball, fastball.
Hey.
Slider. Strike 3. High and in fastball. We missed
Ball
the zone
high.
there. Whatever. Same thing. Fastball. We're just gonna give him another fastball. I don't listen to my catchers ever. Don't listen to your catchers. Hot. Easy. Can't give up a home run. Don't let him pull home run here, because right field out there, if you don't know, is like 215 at the wall, and it's this ballpark does not hold baseballs easy. Strike 3. There we go. All right, we get the mission done. I just realized where we were playing. I was like, oh, we probably shouldn't have thrown inside on Turkey Stearns.
Universe wrote my song, I'm just ad-libbing it. Yeah. I don't gotta say too much.
If you want to draw a comparison to Smokey Joe Williams with, I guess you could say, a major league contemporary, think Randy Johnson. Now, I know Randy Johnson was a left-hander, but Smokey Joe was a right-handed version of Randy Johnson. And I'm still not sure that the Negro Leagues gets enough credit for its great pitchers. When we started to talk about hurlers like Bullet Rogan, Leon Day, the immortal Leroy Satchel Paige, I'm talking about some of the greatest arms to ever toe the rubber. In the minds of many, Smokey Joe Williams is arguably the greatest pitcher in black baseball history. In the twilight of Smokey Joe's career, while playing then for the Homestead Grays, Williams actually beat the immortal Leroy Satchel Paige 2 out of 3 games. Now at that time, Satchel was 30 years younger than Smokey Joe Williams. Smokey Joe died in 1951, was posthumously inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1999.
Okay. Rest in peace, Smokey Joe. But I think we're gonna get one more episode here. There we go. Arguably one of the best. So we're gonna have to throw a perfect inning here. So let's go ahead and do that. Pick 1. I will say this card probably won't get much use. I already have a good stack up pitching lineup. And this pitch repertoire isn't ideal, so. But it's always fun. I always enjoy playing storylines. I've been playing storylines. I've gotten all done ever since they first came out. I enjoy listening to them. I like baseball with folklore and stuff like that. So these are always something fun to just sit back after, all the competitiveness I play on ranked and sometimes events beyond stuff like that. It's just fun to come and do these. And I think that's it. Maybe? Question mark? Exit. And look at that. We've got Smokey Joe Williams. And let's go take a look at that card. Contacts, once again, he's not great with the bat. Pitching, it's an 88, but for a pitcher, that's pretty dang good. But, alrighty. With that being said, if you liked today's video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. This is part 2 of the 3 parts of the of the Negro League storylines that have dropped today. Up next will be Willard Brown. El Hombre is his nickname out in the thing. But so stick around and watch that one. It should be the next video. But with that being said, I will see you guys later.